everyone, and welcome to the Fool's Chronicle from Ashes. This is our session 0. I'm Sean Tumbokenflowers. I use he, him pronouns. I'm going to be the DM for this season.
Who's going? Is it me?
Good start, guys.
Establishing dominance. Hi, my name is Olivia Manning. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Ivanka Dove.
I am Dylan Manning. I use she, they pronouns. And I'm playing Mariah Cardera.
Hello, I am Ren French. I use they, them pronouns, and I am going to be playing Orlin Wright.
Blades in the Dark is the system we're going to use this season. It's a system made by John Harper. It's one of my favorite TTRPGs that I've ever read. It's a dark game set in a dark setting. You play as scoundrels in the city of Duskville. For a taste of the setting, to quote from the book, you're in a haunted Victorian-era city trapped inside a wall of lightning powered by demon blood. And the kind of pillars of this are who you are as a character, the crew you roll with, and the factions all around you, because faction politics are really important because you're all trapped in this big city. It's got a gameplay loop centered around scores, heists, and it's a big narrative conversation. And so it's been a little cell line on it, it's awesome. And we're going to get more into all of this as we play, but I want to introduce all of our characters really quick. So, Olivia, tell me a bit about your character.
So my character's name is Ivanka Dove. Her alias is the Black Dove. She is a woman. She is fair-skinned. She has dark brown hair. She is maybe early 40s. She has a very traditional Victorian setting-accurate look to her. Very cape and brooch, very refined, but not... She looks like she's gone through some shit. Her heritage is Scotland, which is the, last place to get colonized by the big Duskfall colonization. Her background is in the underworld. She used to be a gang boss. She was the leader of a gang called the Black Doves, and through a very unfortunate series of events, the Black Doves were all eliminated except for her. So she now carries on the alias of the Black Dove to hold their memory in her heart and also get a bunch of revenge. Are we talking about vices?
Yeah. I think let's get it back to your vice in a second.
Awesome. Can
you tell me about your playbook?
My playbook. Ivanka Dove is a slide, which is a subtle manipulator and spy. So essentially, I work in, swaying people. I work in networking and, pulling the strings to make sure that when we get there, I can talk our way through things collectively.
Yeah.
And I have a cool special slide ability that I've done, which is in no way mechanically helpful, but I think it's wonderful. And it is called, looking into a mirror, and it is that I can always tell when someone is lying to me.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's extremely cool.
In this system, we have, action dots that determine your ratings for the skills you're good at. Can you tell me your action dots?
I have one action dot for survey. I have one also for finesse and prowl, and I have 2 each for consort and sway. So I'm mainly good at talking to people and looking at people and making sure that people don't notice the weird shit that I'm doing.
Yeah, I love this system's abilities. We're gonna get way into that during the actual podcast, but just to kind of have an idea of what our characters are good at. And please tell me your vice now.
So Ivanka Dove's vice is pleasure.
Oh my god.
She fucks like it's her job. And
so there's a list of vices in this game. The list is faith, gambling, luxury, obligations, pleasure, and stupor. Vices are kind of scoundrels and Blades in the Dark. Your characters are going to be stressed out. You're always fighting on to the next thing. You're fighting for your life, fighting for your gang. in a million different ways. And so how you relieve stress is through your vice, whatever that happens to be. It's not just like drugs and sex, except for some people it is sex.
Except for some people it is drugs and sex.
Sometimes, sometimes the criminals just gotta go to, like, the spa and take a day off.
I don't think anyone's is really the spot.
Yeah. For some people, it's like, I'm gonna go out and buy a bunch of things that makes me feel better. Or, like, I'm gonna go pray to my weird god because that makes me feel better. But please tell me about your vice more.
Okay, so my vice is pleasure in the very literal sense. In the most literal, when you think of pleasure, it's that. My
Legos?
Yeah, she plays Legos a lot. Her purveyor, do you want to explain what purveyors are, or do you want me to do that?
I'll explain a bit. Purveyors are like where and who you use to sate your vice. Like if I'm a drinker, I'm going to go to a bar, and my bartender could be the guy that I'm getting my vice from.
And if you fuck to survive, your purveyor is a man named Debonair, who is Ivanka's friend from the Black Dove days. She kind of saved his ass, and in return, he takes her out on the town sometimes, and they go see a piece of theater, and they go shop at the silver market, and then maybe some other stuff happens.
So this guy kind of just like wines and dines you
Exactly.
whenever. Okay, and to remind me, was Debonair a part of the Black Doves, or
He was kind of an, like, auxiliary member.
Yeah, kind of like he comes in and helps here and there.
Yeah, but he was never an official dove.
So kind of like a contact for the Black Doves,
Yes.
but not necessarily a
freelancer.
member of it. Okay, a freelancer, yeah.
A freelancing
like hired
hoodlum.
help.
Yeah.
Not to like flesh out this character too much, but like, what did he do?
I think that, so he used to be, this is getting into some real lore shit. I should probably establish my connections while I talk about this.
Yes, because he is also, you choose a close friend and a rival. He is your close friend.
Yes, he's my close friend, and he used to be in some hot shit with my rival, whose name is Bazo Baz. He is the leader of another gang called the Lamp Blacks, and Debonair used to be a member of the Lamp Blacks, and then he got into some shit that I don't even think Ivanka knows all the details of. All she knows is that she saw a boy getting the shit beat out of him by some Lamp Blacks and decided to save his ass. And now he kind of has a life debt to her. So, that's kind of how we're rolling. I think in terms of what he did for the Doves, I think he's sort of a jack of all trades in my mind. Like, he needs to go with everyone else and, like, survey a place and not seem too suspicious since he was not a Dove officially. Like, I think the bigger that the Doves got, the more it was like, we can't just walk into this place and ask for information. But you're just a little pathetic boy.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in there. So I think that's kind of what he was doing. And, if we needed him to fight, he fought.
Nice. Okay. And a bit about your rival, Bazo Baz.
Yes.
Like, what's the nature of your relationship with him?
The nature of my relationship with Bazo Baz is that I stole his little boy toy. And I gave him a way out, and he'll never forgive me for it.
And now he's your little boy toy.
Exactly.
So Debonair is an ex-Lamp Black and is now kind of a Dove-ish.
Kind of.
Okay. Now, so before he was kind of not really in the Doves, and now he's in the Dove every week. And so let me tell you about the next character, because transitions are my passion. Dylan, tell me about your character.
All right. I am playing Mariah Cardera, or as they will essentially always be referred to, the Storm. Mariah uses any pronouns. Their look is ambiguous. He's athletic, intimidating. Kind of their general, outfit vibes are very historically accurate, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, for 1800s.
For Industrial Revolution London.
Yeah.
They have a denim jacket with, patches and, paintwork and stuff over it. If you can't tell, she's not, into stealth. She's kind of in your face.
Uh-huh.
Their heritage is Severos. They are not from there themselves. Like, they have been in this city their whole lives, but their parents were from Sevros, like, directly, until they moved.
Cool.
Her background is also underworld. They were a brute. They were a for-hire bodyguard or goon or kind of just whatever. If someone needed some extra muscle on their team, they were one of the people that could go like, I will give you some money, come with me and beat someone up.
And speaking of muscle, what is Storm's playbook?
Storm is a cutter, a dangerous and intimidating fighter, which just means that they are very good at fighting and fucking people up. So for the ability points, that means that they have 1 in Hunt, 1 in Prowl, 2 in Skirmish, 1 in Wreck, 1 in Command, and 1 in Consort.
All right, Swag. What is your special ability?
My special ability is not to be trifled with, which means I can push myself to do one of the following. Perform a feat of physical force that verges on superhuman, or engage a small gang on equal footing in close combat.
Yeah. Tell me about your vice.
Storm's vice is also pleasure, also in a very different way. We actually were talking about whether this would be more pleasure or stupor, because their vice is boxing. They like to go down to the docks, and they will join boxing matches. They will join, like, tournaments of fights and things like that. The reason we chose pleasure instead of stupor is because they're not in it to get fucked up. They're in it for the, like, thrill and for winning and all that.
So what you're saying, Dylan, is that fighting is only a stupor if you fucking lose.
Exactly.
Yeah, like...
And I don't lose.
Stupor is like, I'm gonna get punch drunk on, like, hitting people. I just get the shit beaten out of me, and, like, that's awesome for me. I just forget myself in the fighting. For the Storm, it's like...
fucking wins.
Yeah, it's, like, about winning and hitting people. Who's your purveyor?
That is Mateo, who is he's, like, this old dock worker who has kind of stepped away from, like, working the docks and more into coaching and kind of organizing the fighting rings that are in the docks. So he kind of took in Storm and kind of brought them up into the whole fighting ring that's there and kind of showed them how they can succeed, kind of encouraged them. It's basically their, like, coach in their corner, you know, that whole thing.
That's cool. So on that note, who is your rival and who is your close friend?
So my close friend is Marlene. Marlene is another fighter at the docks. It's actually very funny that she's my close friend as opposed to my rival, because the way that their relationship goes is they're friends, but they're also, like, in terms of, you know, the fighting rings, they are rivals. They're, like, pretty evenly matched. They're, like, a similar age. But they do get along well outside of that, and they, like, train with each other, encourage each other, so that is why they're close friends. It's like a friendly rivalry kind of thing. They're very evenly matched in terms of, like, wins and skill.
Do you, like, call upon Marlene for a lot of criminal activities, or is it pretty much just the fighting?
I think it's generally just the fighting, unless Storm managed to get themselves in some shit.
Alright, and then who is your rival?
That would be Grace, as they're explained, an extortionist. Grace is a member of the Crows, which is one of the, like, large gangs. They reside in the Crow's Nest.
Crow's Foot.
The Crow's Foot. Sorry. So Grace, being an extortionist, is, guess what? Extorting Mirai. So one of the reasons that Mirai so heavily leans into the Storm being an alias is that, like, they have a family, and they kind of want to keep that life very separate from the whole, like, criminal empire making enemies thing. Grace, unfortunately, managed to find out where Storm lives and kind of their more day-to-day life aside from crime, and now is trying to hold that over Storm to have power over them, and it's working.
Awesome. Anything about your, like, equipment you want to talk about?
Yes. So, the Cutter's special items, one of them in particular includes a fine heavy weapon, which is just like your two-handed type of weapon that's meant to do some damage. For Mirai, I thought this would work to be a baseball bat. I'm so historically accurate, guys. It's like one of those, like, heavy baseball bats. It's, like, bright pink. It's got, like, spray paint and, like, I don't know, like, stickers or designs across it, little, like, stamps and stuff of characters or just, like, whatever Storm came across and went, this would be fun.
You know how industrial London is big on their hot pink.
Yeah, totally.
And their
The
stickers.
background, me looking up when baseball was invented, 1876 actually. So you're like,
You found out about baseball and went, this is the coolest fucking thing I've
This is
ever
the
coolest
seen.
coolest.
shit.
Let me check this
I
out.
need one of these bats right now because you know what I'd love to do with this? Kill people.
Bash someone's face in.
A new novel sports item. It's like somebody killing people with a hoverboard.
Some noble walking over like, oh, are you very much into the baseball? I see.
Yes, that's what this is for. Bang!
Okay, awesome. Let me talk to you, Ren, about your character.
So my character's name is Orlin Wright. He's also known as the Knave. As regarding looks, he's a man, which is... it's really funny to read on my character sheet. He's a man, standoffish, old brown robes, haggard, hat, and sunglasses.
Sean, can you really quickly explain the elements of lore of Duskfall as it relates to
As it
why
pertains to
Orlin
sunglasses?
would not be as it pertains to sunglasses?
Yes, okay, because we've discussed this heavily. Duskfall exists in a post-calamity world, and that calamity was the sun shattered and the gates of death opened up. Basically, ghosts exist in this world. The only thing that keeps them out of the city is these lightning towers, powered by Leviathan blood around the city. It keeps all the ghosts outside of the city out, but creates this weird ghost field within the city, which is important for Orlin's character, who is a whisper, who basically deals with ghosts. But
So basically, it's dark all the time, and this motherfucker is still wearing
yes,
sunglasses.
it is in Evernight.
At this point, it is actively hurting his vision.
I had to fight tooth and nail to get Sean to let me wear these damn things.
So the thing is it's not that I don't want you to wear them. It's just that I need you to know that in this world, everything is by lamplight. There is no sun to illuminate any corner of this city. So wearing sunglasses is very counterintuitive. But tell us why you do that.
So Orlin wears these sunglasses because he is Taikarosi. Taikarosi is such a weird and interesting lineage from the books because it's basically people who are from a far-off land who are thought to have devil's blood. And how are they described?
They have they're known as from being from Tykeros, this semi-mythical place. Everyone says they're part demon, and if you have this heritage, you have this, quote, demonic telltale that marks your character. So feathers instead of hair, shark black eyes, anything that makes you visibly look off.
Yes. And Orlin's demon telltale would be solid black eyes, which would explain the sunglasses.
Yeah. What's your background?
Orlin used to be a freelance whisperer by trade. And what that means is in this city with these ghosts that have to be kept out, that means ghosts are kept in as well. And when people die, usually it's taken care of by outside organizations.
But not all the spirits get caught.
Exactly. A lot of private institutions hire whispers. A lot of gangs will hire whispers to help them with murder purposes usually. But in Orlin's case, he would do it for cheap and discreetly.
So you've worked with a lot of gangs in the past.
Yes.
That's interesting. Maybe some of the gangs that we know from being current factions, or are they gangs that are old?
It's probably individual, smaller subgroups within the gangs. Orlin is not a well-known figure around the city. He's this disheveled older man who lives kind of on the streets in Char Hollow.
Okay.
Hey, Ren?
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever hire you?
Oh, shit.
Is that how I know you? I don't think we've discussed this. Is this how I know you?
It's entirely possible.
We'll figure it out.
Lovely. What is your vice?
Orlin Wright is a drinker. His vice is stupor, and his purveyor is Morden Gull, the owner of the Leaky Bucket located in the Crow's Foot.
Yeah. So you just drink your sorrows away?
Yeah, that's
All
about right.
Awesome. Who is your close friend and who is your rival? Actually, first, what's your special ability and your action dots?
My special ability is very simple. It is titled Compel. I say it's very simple. The first words are, you can attune to the ghost field to force a nearby ghost to appear and obey a command you give it.
This is how board game rules are set up. It's very simple. First, you have to attune to the ghost field.
Oh, my bad. I should have considered that.
Just know these 3 other mechanics and have played for a year and a half, and you'll get it right off the bat.
It's not
So
that deep.
easy.
You're good. You'll get it. You'll figure it out. In addition, I'm not supernaturally terrified by a ghost I summon or compel, though my allies may be. It basically just means I can, if there's a ghost nearby and I sense it, I can tap into the spirit realm and, like, tell them to do stuff.
Cool. I would like to talk about being terrified by ghosts because it's a whole thing in this. Ghosts are real and they're a big problem in Duskfall. And most people, like, they're supernaturally terrifying. No matter how steely cold your resolve is, a ghost appearing in front of you will totally shake you of all conviction. So I'm going to enjoy seeing how you guys interact with ghosts over this campaign. Speaking of, what are your action dots?
My action dots, I have 2 in study, 1 in survey, 1 in prowl, 2 in attune, and 1 in command.
And who are your friends? Close friend and rival?
So my good friend is, his name is Flint, and he's a spirit trafficker. He lives in a condemned manor out of 6 towers. He traffics souls, and a lot of the souls that Orlin captures, he can't just, like, let it out of the bubble, so he goes to Flint and sells them off.
And your rival?
Well, working with ghosts, there's always gonna be, like, one, and this one, Nyrix, is a possessor ghost. It probably among one of the first ghosts Orlin encountered, and this one is just a dick. She hasn't killed him, which she's grateful for to a degree, but she does show up time to time to just fuck with him, and to her it is the greatest entertainment.
Nyrix is a ghost out of Silkshore. Because ghosts are so common in Duskfall, some of them have jobs, and she's a lady of the night, in many senses of the word, in the Red Lamp district of Silkshore. So she's a possessor ghost, which means that she basically will possess a person, and that'll be the person you'll do it with for the night. And then possess a different person, and it's still Nyrix, she just looks different. And they have all these people that work as prostitutes in a brothel. And also, I guess in her free time, she fucks with you, Orlin.
It was definitely the first time they met, it was definitely a case of, like, misinformation, where Orlin's like, oh no, a ghost. And Nyrix is just like, I am a citizen of the city. I am a taxpayer. I have a job.
I pay ghost taxes.
And from then on, there's just been this, like, bad blood between them. They're not trying. I think Orlin is trying actively to, like, capture her just out of spite, and nothing's gonna. Orlin's never gonna get her.
She's your fucking white whale.
Yes.
This ghost whore is your fucking white whale.
Yeah, I guess.
Ghostitute, please.
Ghostitute is quite bad. All whispers have this thing called a spirit mask. It's like custom to each whisper, and it's how they are able to see the ghost field in clarity. Please tell me about your spirit mask.
Orlin's spirit mask is bad. Let's start off there. It's bad to look at.
To look at with the eyes.
Mm-hmm. At the very base of it, it's like a jester's mask. It is painted white and black with gold accent, and it has plumes of cloth coming from the sides with little bells dangling on the end of each one. The mask's paint is chipped and peeling. It's like cracked and peeling. But the thing that sucks about it is the fact that it's got this, like, too big smile with pained eyes, and he wears it to interact with ghosts, but it means that if you're a bystander and you're looking at this, you see a supernaturally terrifying entity being roped up and bottled by an old human in tattered, and a mask made of chipped paint with a terrifyingly painful smile.
Yeah, that's hellish.
So you interact with a supernaturally terrifying being and a ghost.
They do say demon blood runs in the veins.
So, quite possibly. Hello, I'm Sean Tumbokenflowers, your GM, and I have some messages for you. First of all, thank you so much for listening to The Fool's Chronicle from Ashes. If you want to know more about The Fool's Chronicle, check out our Twitter and Instagram at Fool's Chronicle, where you can see character art, behind-the-scenes content, and more. Again, that is at Fool's Chronicle. Thank you again for listening to our Session 0. We have been so excited here at The Fool's Chronicle to get our story out, and this isn't even the beginning. Speaking of, our next episode, episode 1, is coming out in 2 weeks on February 1st. That's a Wednesday. Save the date. Anyway, back to the episode. So, each of your characters have a character sheet here, but your crew has a different character sheet because it's kind of a thing of its own. Tell me about your crew. Let's start with, the name.
On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. The Ashes!
I'm so sorry for everyone who just had to hear that.
That was audio poison. Our name is the Ashes.
Mm-hmm. And what's your crew type?
We are assassins. We are murderers for hire. You want somebody gone? We'll fucking do it.
Awesome. And starting off, you guys are tier 0. Basically means, how strong you are in comparison to other factions. You guys are at the very bottom.
Nothing. We just got started. We have nothing.
Yes, you have 0 reputation with other factions and such, and you are at least starting off with 2 coin, which we're going to spend very soon in our crew creation.
We are a crew of 3 people. There's not a whole lot of reputation to be had.
Dude. For your initial reputation, tell me about, how do other underworld factions see you? And then the list is ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, and strange.
We are ambitious.
Yes. I believe playing towards your reputation gives you extra, experience points for your crew.
And we will be doing that.
We will be doing that.
So to set the tone.
I think when we get to explaining hunting grounds, it will become clear as to why we are ambitious.
Yeah, speaking of hunting grounds, you guys have to pick a district that is your hunting grounds. So which is your hunting grounds?
Our hunting grounds are Charter Hall, which, in the lore of this world, is basically the central hub of politics. So it's where town hall is. It's where all the rich politician folks hang out and do their stuff and live.
And that's where you're going to be doing most of your assassinations.
And we looked at that and we went, looks ripe for crime.
Looks great.
Exactly.
Does anybody do crime in here?
Us, a startup gang, kind of looked at the political center of the city and went, yeah, we can kill people here.
Hey, is anyone killing here yet?
Because we would love to start killing people
we would love
here.
to.
This seems like a hot new market, just ripe for the taking.
Business is booming.
I want to mention that all of the factions have ratings for various factors in them. Charter Hall has a 4, the highest rating for security and safety. It has a 0 for criminal influence, so at least you're kind of filling a void.
Listen,
the criminal market.
It's a market choice. It's a business decision.
we saw a need in the market.
Mm-hmm. A new niche you could fill.
And we filled it. We're business people. This is what business people do.
There's a faction that controls this area, and you have to either pay them off or pay nothing, and that depends your status with them. So what do you guys do for that?
We have decided to pay all 2 of our coins to the city council, and now they like us very much.
Well, they like us approximately 1.
They like us enough.
+1 status with them. Awesome.
They like us enough to let us kill in their territory.
You know
Which,
what?
like, you gotta like someone a fair amount for that to happen.
Us is a strong word. They like me.
Yeah, did Dove make that contact?
I definitely think it was Dove, just because I'm the only one that looks like a normal human person. But yeah, I think that she kind of used any kind of social karma that she still had left from the Black Doves. Because I think that they were, at the very least, or at least she, as kind of a person and an entity, was known for class. And that's kind of what she prides herself on, is that she can communicate with people in a very classy and refined way. So I think that she utilized that to kind of get the Ashes some startup connections in the area. And also she knows that rich people, if there's one thing they hate, it's other rich people. If there's another thing they hate, it's poor people. But if there's a thing that they hate more than poor people, it's other rich people.
So as far as that goes, it's pretty good. You guys as a crew have a special ability. What is your special ability?
Our special ability is called Crow's Veil. In the city, when a person dies, within the hour, usually, these bells will toll and the crows are sent from the Soul Warden's lair, I guess?
Yeah.
The augury. And they circle the body, and the Soul Wardens come, and they collect it, and they burn the body, and they burn the soul, etc., etc. Crow's Veil says that due to hard-won experience or occult ritual, our activities are hidden from the notice of the Death Seeker crows. You don't take extra heat when killing is involved on a score. There will be killing involved in most of our scores.
There will be killing.
I'm sometimes listening to the lore of this world. I'm having a real, like, time knife moment. Just like, yeah, the Spirit Wardens. We've all heard of
The
them.
Death Seeker crows. We've all heard of the Death Seeker crows.
Man, living here sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Imagine you're, like, taking a ferry on your way to work, and then you just, like, see a horde of Death Seeker crows swarm upon your neighbor Jerry's house.
No, not Jerry. I really liked Jerry.
No.
Fuck, he was gonna hold a potluck next week.
Fuck. Now I gotta find somebody else to make the fucking potluck.
He was my best man.
Guys, we're wasting all the content for our spin-off podcast called Dudes in the Dark, where
We all need is like normal people trying to make it in this world.
we just play normal guys. Like, I'm businessman Jerry. I'm here to go to my job. Oh, nards, this lurk is gonna rattle me for all my money.
Fuck. Anyway.
That's your ability. I believe. Who got you that?
That would be me. Orlin, again, is a very bizarre creature.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
one of the things about him is he exudes this kind of aura, this kind of like spirit stank that repels the Death Seeker crows. So when they do a cool kill in the capital, the crows don't come because they don't sense it. Orlin just kind of like dampens the aura, I guess.
Orlin does a cool ghost fart. and the crows are like, damn, I don't want to get into that.
I'm actually interested. Is this something that you've developed over your years as being a whisper? Like something that you made, or is it something that just happens? They're not sure how it happens.
As far as I know, it's something that just happens. Like, or it's not a skill that was refined over time. He didn't like concentrate on like, how can I make this the most noxious, vile AoE possible.
AoE funk.
But it is something that, with death and spirits constantly surrounding him, it just kind of like happened. It got stronger the more death he surrounded himself with.
All right. That's awesome. So can we talk about our crew upgrades? You guys got 2 off the bat, which is training and insight and prowess, which like when you have downtime to train, You'll do it better when it's those skills. But also, what is your crew upgrades outside of that? And there's some faction politics with your crew upgrades, and so we'll talk about that as well.
So one of our kind of direct crew equipment upgrades is that we have Assassin's Rigging, which means that we get 2 free load of weapons or gear when we're, like, loading up for a score. So we can carry more, like, weapons and shit. How did we get this? We're friends with a cool gang called the Wraiths.
Yeah, one of the bigger, like, I think they're, for reference, they are tier 2. So, a bit better than you are. How high in tier did the Black Doves get, actually? Good question.
The Black Doves got not nearly high enough to be doing some of the shit that they did.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say at least a 2, just because they were in the same view as, like, the Lamp Blacks and the Wraiths.
Okay.
No, I don't think that they ever got to 3. I don't think so.
So the Wraiths were your contemporaries, not your worst or your betters.
Yes. They were, Lamp Blacks and Wraiths were our contemporaries. I think we were trying real hard to get to 3, and then that's kind of how we crashed and burned, but that will come later.
Yeah, and to clarify, all of these, like, out of, like, character names and such are all in universe as well. Tiers of factions is a thing in universe, and so is the names of your playbooks. Like, you can go hire a cutter. You can go hire a whisper. You know, you can be like, that guy's a slide. You know, all that kind of stuff. Speaking of raids, where'd you get that contact from? I assume it's the Doves.
Oh yeah. I was like, let me call up my friends.
And they just kind of helped you out, taught you how to do Assassin's Rigging?
Yep. I think they were just like, sure, we'll fucking teach you how to... I remember this little Blorbo,
Mm-hmm.
Ivanka from my gangs. I remember you. I pity you. Here, I'll teach you how to hide some knives up your butt. Whatever we do.
Yeah. No, that's actually my real question. Do they, like,
Do
pity
we put,
you? Do they see
do
you
we put
as...
knives up our butts?
Do you see your knives up your
Absolutely we
butt? Okay. Cool. No. Do they pity you, or is it like is like a favor for an old friend? Like, what is it?
I think it is.
Why is they helping you?
I think it is.
And why is it that this is like they like you because of this?
I think it is publicly what they said to Ivanka was it's a favor for an old friend. I missed you guys. I think the Black Doves and the Wraiths were obviously friends, so I think that publicly it is a favor for an old friend. Internally, there probably is a little bit of pity, because I think that generally everyone looks at Ivanka Dove and goes, man, she got so close. Too close to the fire. So that's kind of the general thing, I think.
All right. So you have +1 status with them. As for the other thing, you have a -1 status with the faction because of it. So what is your other upgrade?
So can we first establish where this lair is? Because I think that does
Yeah.
add
I don't think
on
we did.
to the fact that it's
I
hidden.
think we skipped over that.
Okay, so the Ashes lair is my house. The Ashes lair is Ivanka Dove's real house in the district of 6 Towers. When the Black Doves collapsed, I moved to a crumbling estate in 6 Towers, and that's my home. And when I was like, let's start a gang, I decided to start it. We are literally like the gang equivalent of Mark Zuckerberg making Facebook in his garage. Like,
I can't believe you went to Mark Zuckerberg, because I was just thinking about, like, the gang equivalent of a garage band or something.
no.
Like that, like, practice in the basement. No, you went, we're Mark Zuckerberg, actually.
Mark
We are
Zuckerberg.
Papa John.
What?
Did you know Papa
What?
John?
We don't have time. We don't have time to discuss the Papa John's implications of this. We're
No,
getting
we
out of
do
Papa
now.
John he started selling pizzas in his garage. It's not important.
That's really
The
crazy.
hell he did. Okay.
So anyway, we're selling pizzas out of my garage.
And by pizzas, we mean murder.
We're selling murder pizzas. We're selling murder pizzas out of Ivanka
We don't have
Dove's
time for
real
the Papa
crumbling
John's.
garage.
For the Papa John's lore hole.
So
Anyway,
what?
now that we've established where our layer is, our other crew upgrade feature is hidden, which essentially means that people don't really know where we are located. They can't really find us when we're at our lair and all that, which is why the the inspectors, who are also located in 6 towers, don't like us because they cannot find us. So we have a -2 reputation with them because we already spent all our money and we couldn't pay them off.
Yeah, we could have paid 1 coin to make them like us a little bit more, but we did spend all our money. We spent all of our cash money.
It's so funny to me. It's so funny that they're just like, we can't find these people. Where are they? And it's just Ivanka Dove's real house.
You just have like Storm in the background dragging a body.
They're like outside. They're in my yard. They're in my yard. Like, Ivanka, we've heard of this gang. And she's like, I have no idea.
And as a gang as a whole, you guys have a favorite contact. Who is that?
Our favorite contact is Iramina, a vicious noble. I believe we have in lore decided that she is a member of the Strangford noble family.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows us kind of from our city council thing. That's always what I assumed, was that Ivanka Dove got in with the city council and then was like, hey, you seem like a bitch. I'm also a bitch. Would you like to maybe become friends? And then they did become friends. So because of this connection that we have to Iramina Strangford, we are friends with the cabbies who kind of drive people around town. They drive Iramina around town to shady places, and now they drive us around to shady places. And we are not friends. We have a -1 tier with the Church of Ecstasy, which is just because Iramina Strangford doesn't go to church.
Yes, pretty much. There's some depth to that, but we're going to leave it at that for now. That's awesome. That is your whole crew. And I'm interested in one last thing as pertaining to your crew. How did you all get together? And how long have you been operating?
Okay, so I think that Ivanka Dove, as kind of this old gang boss who was kind of ruined in every way, worst case scenario, as an attempt of kind of starting over again, which is why we're called the Ashes. I like the idea, Ren, that I called upon you, Orlin Wright, at some point, and, like, remembered more than anything, number 1, that you were good at your job, and number 1, that you were a weirdo and didn't have any friends.
So both of those are correct.
These are real things about Orlin Wright, and then I guess I was just like, listen, you're a weirdo, you don't have any friends, but you're damn good at your job. Do you want to be damn good at your job for me exclusively? I will give you money.
Money?
Is that money?
Anything. So is that connection really just like purely work?
Yeah.
I think for now it is.
At the moment, Orlin Wright is an old man that I don't like very much, but he's, again, damn good at his job.
Ivanka Dove is someone with a lot of reputation and a lot of prestige behind her, and I mean, Orlin's not going to pass that job up.
And as for Storm?
I think that Mirai was kind of in a place where you do enough, like, odd jobs as a brute.
As a cutter?
Yeah, as a cutter. You get, like, a certain amount of, like, people know who you are enough and, like, that's a goon, you know?
That's a real
goon I can hire
high
up.
level goon.
Quality goon.
That's like a pretty good
solid
goon.
But
I think I think that Mirai was kind of like, I don't like this. I don't like just being a high-level goon. And kind of hit this point where they're like, I think that I can be more than that. So in order to do that, you kind of need stable employment as a cutter.
You know, the cutter union.
So I think he
I don't
more
think
or less
gang work is a
heard
union
about...
job.
Yeah, started up a cutter union. I think he more or less heard about, like, okay, there is this, you know, Ivanka Dove is looking at starting up a gang again, essentially trying to find, like, stable employment in just a way that will, like, allow them to grow and be more of a solid name as opposed to just a goon. And kind of saw Ivanka Dove creating this new gang, but not coming at it from a very strong position. Ivanka Dove is not known for strong-arming people, not known for being powerful in a fight or any kind of defense. She's very much known for, you know, her way with words and being kind of a more powerful presence. So I think Mirai saw this and went, I can help you, and then you, in turn, can help me be more than a goon.
So is Mirai just as invested in that kind of ambitious reputation as Dove is?
Yes, I think absolutely.
Okay.
I think that... I guess I don't know about Orlin that much, just because I don't... Orlin's always been weird to me. I'm not going to get into an analysis
I'd be shocked if he
of
wasn't.
his character. But I know that Dove is known for being ambitious because of just, like, that is their personality. I think that is also a very core part of Storm's personality. So I think with the two of them kind of pushing each other is one of the reasons that their crew became just, like, ambitious as their well-known reputation.
And as another question, how long have you guys been operating when the story starts?
Long enough to have these, like, connections, right? Like, I think, I don't know, a couple months, I guess. Long enough that, like, I was able to be like, hey, city council, just so you know, we'll kill a guy for you. if you would like me to murder your dad, I'll do it. Not for free, though.
Long enough to put some ads in the paper,
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Looking for clients. So probably a couple months. Long enough to put our name out there as people that you can hire, and also people that some people don't like very much. But I don't think we have done any formal scores yet.
Okay, cool. You guys have just been, like, building up a presence.
Yes.
Awesome. And do you have any, like, other people part of this gang, or is it pretty much just you three?
I know for a fact that I could call on Debonair if I needed him. But he's kind of my only remaining kind of guy. Everybody else is either dead or hates me.
I think it's really just the three of us. I think each of us individually have these people that were like, if we were in a bind, I could call on them, but aren't really at the point where we're like, oh yeah, they're part of our gang. They're helping us out on scores.
Yeah.
Love that.
I could get a bartender to help us.
Could you?
Could you?
Would you?
No.
Bartending is stable employment. The Black Dove is not known for
Stability.
stability as far as gangs ending goes. Awesome.
Did they have life insurance?
No.
I'm gonna say a big ol' no.
Do they have dental?
They didn't even have dental.
Oh.
Only tier 3 gangs get dental.
Oh.
Only tier 3 gangs get dental. That's so true.
The different gang tiers, they're defined by what kinds of insurance benefits you get.
Yes.
We currently have Paschetti.
You're getting distractions, actually. If one of you guys dies, you have to pay the bank's money. We are the Fool's Chronicle. From Ashes is going to be our campaign name. I am super excited to get into this overall. I love the world, I love the characters, and thank you everyone for listening.
Bye.
Any final words from our crew?
Talk shit, get hit.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Talk shit, get hit. I don't know. Good night, everybody.